Welcome to Your Legacy Radio. My name is Scott Tanzel. I'm excited to be with you. We've got a fantastic show for you. A lot of things going on within today's show. I'm going to be covering several different areas. I want to start out within the first segment, explaining how the Your Legacy Radio, the show that is Your Legacy Radio, is put forward to you on a weekly basis. It could not be done if it was not for the sole sponsor of Your Legacy Radio, which is River Wealth Solutions. And River Wealth Solutions is an organization that helps individuals who are affected by a terminal illness to find funds, take assets that they currently have, transfer those assets into funds that they need to create the life that they want to create, be it through medical expenses, taking a vacation, taking time off work that is needed because a loved one or themselves or stricken by or affected by a medical scenario that is a terminal illness. So River Wealth Solutions helps them to identify assets, be it real estate, be it a life insurance policy. And then the mission statement of River Wealth Solutions is providing a more fulfilled life for those affected by a terminal illness. So there's a lot of meaning behind that mission statement as far as what that looks like for an individual. How is that created? What's the best way to put that into place? And we help to quarterback. The River Wealth Solutions organization helps to quarterback that scenario, be it through financial planning management, be it through something called a guaranteed indexed account, be it through something called a living resource benefit, where they take their life insurance policy, they actually transfer that life insurance policy into capital that they need, into funds that they need now for many, many different reasons. So there's a lot of things that happen when someone is affected by a terminal illness. And in the work that I have done with River Wealth Solutions, I've seen that firsthand. I actually this past week, the River Wealth Solutions organization is working very closely with another organization called the Catfish ALS chapter of North Carolina. And, within this chapter, and it's one of the largest chapters for ALS in the country, and, and talking to some of the members of the chapter, and also talking to some of the members who are the organizational piece of the chapter, the biggest thing that they said that they need is better awareness, because they work with individuals to the number of about 700 to 750 individuals just in North Carolina. Now, they stretch into other states just because it's one of the most perfected organizations for support of ALS individuals, or individuals who are affected by ALS. So they work with between 700 and 750 individuals per year who are affected by ALS, which is just a horrible, horrible disease. And it tends to affect individuals at a younger age, in their 30s, in their 40s, sometimes even earlier than that, sometimes in their 50s and 60s as well. But when they're affected by ALS, the way that is diagnosed is by ruling out everything else. So there's no way to actually diagnose that it is ALS outside of ruling out every other possible disease that it could be. And once that happens, then they say, okay, well, this is most likely with the symptoms that you're having, this is ALS. From that point on, there is a large amount of money needed for medical bills and medical procedures and just care of the individual, to the point of the care that is needed for the individual and also for the support that is needed by the individual. So it's a horrible, horrible disease. And, 700 to 750 individuals are helped each year by the Catfish chapter of North Carolina. However, there are untold numbers of individuals that are not aware that the support is even available for them. They're not aware that the support is available in Fayetteville, in Raleigh-Durham, in South Carolina even. There is support available. Now, they would have to come into North Carolina to receive that, but there's clinics in Asheville. There's a number of clinics in Charlotte that are a part of this chapter that help individuals to get the support that is needed for the disease that they have. So if you know of anyone that is affected by ALS, and they do not understand that the support is available for them in the North and South Carolina area, even up into Virginia, even Tennessee, down into Atlanta, or across the border from South Carolina into Georgia, that there is support that is available for them within that realm of the disease that is ALS. All they have to do is to reach out, and we can help them. Your Legacy Radio and also Riverwell Solutions can help them to find that support. If they call this number, we can connect them to the individuals that can give them the support that they need, and possibly Riverwell Solutions can help them out as well. The number is 866-500-2922. That's 866-500-2922. The last thing that I wanted to hear as we're meeting with the members of this chapter is that there's untold numbers of individuals who don't receive the support. They receive a diagnosis from a doctor who says, yes, it is ALS. We've ruled out everything else. You have ALS at this point. Go home, prepare your estate, prepare your life for the end days, is essentially what a lot of individuals are told, and that's what they do. They go home. The doctor gave the orders. The doctor's given, kind of what their perspective is and what their feeling is. And they don't know, even the doctors don't know oftentimes of the support groups that are available for individuals who are affected by ALS. So wanted to put that out in this first segment. And as I said before, if you want to call Riverwell Solutions, they can connect you to individuals that can give you that support. They can also help you analyze your situation and how to put that situation in proper order for the season that you or your family member is going through. So again, the number is 866-500-2922. That's 866-500-2922. I am extremely excited about an interview that I'm going to have in the second and third segment with Mr. David Schenk. And he is an award-winning national bestseller author of 6 books, including The Genius in All of Us, The Forgetting, which is something that I'm going to kind of dive into with him, talking about Alzheimer's, and the disease from the perspective of someone who has written and who has done a large amount of his work surrounding this disease. Even as far as being a part of many publications and then also television networks as a contributor, but spreading the message that is about this disease. He also wrote a book called Data Smog. He also wrote a book called The Immortal Game. So he's well versed in many different topics and areas. That we'll dive into a lot of the different areas that he has surrounded himself within in his works of books and publications and TV interviews. And he said to me this morning, he said, I've done thousands of interviews, Scott. So I've gotten my message out there in many different ways. And I couldn't be more happy to have him on the show with me here today. So we will also go into with David as far as the thought process that he has to a possible cure of Alzheimer's, and I want to look at that with ALS as well. That was something else I was talking about with the individuals who are part of the Catfish chapter ALS support system, the support network within North Carolina. Is how far away are we with the cure for ALS? And they're working every single day to find a cure for this horrible disease. Both of the diseases, be it ALS, be it Alzheimer's. How do we get these diseases out of our society? Because when someone is affected by these diseases, by these illnesses, these terminal illnesses, what I've seen a lot of times is one of the most needed things within their life is finances. Definitely organization of finances, definitely putting things in proper order for their financial really legacy, for their family, for the long-term scenario, not just the season that they're going through, but when they're not here anymore, putting those things in order for that situation, and having the funds today. I've said this before on this show, would your family rather you leave it for them or live it with them? And when we ask individuals that, Most often, I haven't had one time when they said my family would rather me leave it for them. And that's a whole different situation, whole different conversation. Most times, in fact, all the times that I've asked that question, the answer is they would rather me live it with them. They'd rather me help create memories, help create a legacy that I can leave behind for them and set them up financially to be able to prosper with what it is I've worked so hard for in my life. They'd rather me be able to get the medical treatment that I need to be able to sustain my life, so that I can be with him for a longer period of time. So there's a lot of reasons why individuals need funds, and River Wealth Solutions, as I said before, helps individuals to identify assets that can be used to create the funds that are needed within a life at the point when the funds are needed. So a life insurance policy oftentimes is looked at as something that is only used once someone passes away. It doesn't have to be that way. If you want more information about how to take assets you have, turn them into funds that you need, call River Wealth Solutions at this number, 866-500-2922. That number again is 866-500-2922. So when we get back with Your Legacy Radio, we'll have more exciting things to talk about. We'll be right back after these messages.